So, as you know, Donald Trump is a TV star, former casino owner, and a business person whose companies declared bankruptcy 6 times. Now he wants to take your retirement and make it bankruptcy number 7. Check out these headlines from 2016: How Donald Trump bankrupted his Atlantic City casinos but still earned millions. Check out the headline from today: Private equity to lobby Trump for access to savers' retirement funds. This is a horrendously horrible idea. You don't want to gamble with people's retirements, but unfortunately, much of the MAGA world who support Trump, who now support Musk, have no idea what any of this stuff means, which is frankly really sad. If you're watching my videos and you're here on my channel, you probably know exactly why this is a bad idea. Don't be gambling with people's retirements. But these are the people who are essentially are in control of things right now, and it could get even worse if you can imagine that. This is the other headline. It looks like Trump wants to do all this stuff very, very quickly, as quick as possible. Headline: Trump urges Congress to pass his agenda in a single massive bill. So basically, they want to put all his proposals right up front, right away, get it through as quick as possible, and start gambling before people know what hit them. This is a statement from Trump. He says, members of Congress are getting back to work on one powerful bill that will bring our country back and make it greater than ever before. He then has a laundry list of all the stuff that he wants to do, basically turn everything into a United States or Trump casino. And then he says, Republicans must unite and quickly deliver these historic victories for the American people. Get smart, tough, and send the bill to my desk to sign as soon as possible. Make America great again. And that's on January 6th, 2025. I want to go through the details of this crazy stuff because I think, again, this is really important. This is your retirement and you're looking to gamble it as much as possible. And we've talked about this before. They want to do this AI stuff, this crypto stuff, all these speculative things. And again, guys, it's gambling. This is what it says. It says, private equity industry is preparing to lobby the incoming Trump administration to give it access to broad pools of capital. That's your retirements, right? Broad pools of capital it has not historically been allowed to tap. So normally this kind of stuff, again, your retirements are off limit. You just don't want to gamble with this stuff, especially into private equity, which is all sorts of crazy speculative stuff, as I think is what they're planning. So the stuff they want to tap, it says retirement savings and a move that could unlock trillions for the firm, right? Also says the 13 trillion industry is hoping the new White House will revive a deregulatory push from the final months of Trump's first presidency. I just made a video about this before, how essentially Trump and Musk, they want to remove all barriers, all rules. And what we're looking at is United States of Trump casino. That's why I keep warning you about this stuff. We don't want it. And there's going to be a bunch of people who are MAGA who don't understand what we're talking about. But I'm telling you guys, this is really serious. And I get it. I get it. From the private equity perspective, looking, oh, look at all these fees that we can collect. Look at all this gambling that we can do. Look at all the speculative stuff. Look at all these things that we can pump and manipulate the markets. This is really, really bad, guys. It also says here, this will allow, if they can do it, private equity investments to be included in professionally managed funds. Now the industry is seeking to push past that first step, allowing tax-deferred defined contribution plans such as 401ks, right? Again, your retirements, to back unlisted investments. So basically all of these private ventures that they want to do. So this won't be on the public markets, like leverage buyouts, I guess is what they want to do, low-rated private loans, and illiquid property deals. Right? Illiquid property deals. They want to put your retirement money into illiquid property deals. They're probably thinking like, you know what? I bought this commercial property. I'm underwater and I need someone to bail me out. And Trump's probably like, you know what? We're going to give tax cuts to the rich, and our deficit's kind of a problem. And Elon Musk wants to cut everything. So, where are we going to get the money? And they're like, I got it. How about people's retirements? We'll use people's retirements to rescue you for all those gambling that you did on your commercial real estate. And they're like, wow, that's really good. And MAGA's too stupid to understand how serious this is. Oh, yeah. Guys, this is bad. This is really, really bad. Also says here, the executives said that the effort could give their higher fee funds, right? Again, get that sweet management fees, a chance to tap a class of investors with at least as much in assets as a sovereign wealth funds. Pensions and endowments have traditionally backed the world's largest groups such as Blackstone, Apollo Group, and KKR. I read this stuff, and I know I make jokes about these things, but Honestly, it is freaking insane. The illiquid property deals is bad. Low rated private loans, that's bad. Leverage buyouts, so essentially debt upon debt. I guess this will maybe encourage more mergers, I guess, using your retirement money to create more monopolies. I mean, the whole thing, and I know crypto is going to be in here somewhere. I know AI is going to be in here somewhere. It's going to be all the speculative nonsense, and it's like using your retirement money to bail these freaking idiots out. But honestly, I mean, I guess you could make the case they're not the idiots. The idiots are the MAGA people who are like, they don't understand this stuff anyway. I mean, I'm a little mean this time. Sometimes I get a little bit mean, just mostly because it's deeply frustrating. And I'm just honest with you guys. I want you to do well. I want your retirements to do well. I want you to live a happy life. I want you to be secure. And I understand from the MAGA point of view, they're like, but Chris, you're so dumb. Elon Musk and Trump, they care about me. They're billionaires. They must be really, really smart. To get all that money means that they care about other people. It's like, I mean, you guys don't understand how ridiculous it is. And I want to bring up the casino stuff because kind of like how we all imagine casinos in the movies is like, James Bond and everyone's like really cool and sexy and they're wearing nice suits, etc. But when you actually go to the, real Las Vegas, real casinos, etc., honestly, it's a lot of older people who just look depressed. That's been my experiences whenever I go to casino. I don't like going to them. I don't gamble myself at all. I just don't touch that stuff. But I always walk through casinos and I just see a bunch of depressed people that they don't look like they're having fun, and they're just addicted to losing money. If you guys have a different experience at casinos, if you have the more James Bond experience where everyone's like, having a good time and smiling and laughing and all the pretty girls that surround you at the craps table, let me know. I'd like to hear it. But every time I've been to Vegas, it's that kind of feeling. I just feel like there's a lot of old people wasting their money away, and then they go around and they serve you free drinks. If you have a different experience at casino, please let me know. But that's what I've seen. Whenever we go to Vegas, to be frank, we just go to the buffets. we eat the food, we go to the shows, but we don't gamble at all. But I do understand a lot of people do, and I also understand that the house always wins. That's why we don't touch this stuff. And the other thing is if you think that Trump, and he actually, his company's declared bankruptcy 6 times. I mean, what do you think is going to happen to the USA? And they're essentially just turning the whole country into a giant casino. Frankly, I just find this stuff really bad. I'll read a little bit more, but I get too irritated with all of it. But let's read a little bit more here. It says, private equity and non-traded real estate funds have generally been confined to institutional investors or wealthy individuals because they often carry higher leverage, right? So more borrowing, and then I guess you get people's retirement and get more borrowing on that. Less liquidity, right? So it's harder to sell said things, but maybe if you get people's retirement, you can easily, trade these high risky investments. Why not? And fewer disclosures. So that means there'll be less info. You won't necessarily see all of their books as clearly. These aren't necessarily publicly traded things that we're talking about throwing people's retirement into. I'm telling you guys, this sounds bad to me. They also carry higher fees and have performance metrics that can be harder to evaluate. Oh, God. And that's a question I pose to you. Do you want your retirement into these things that there's less disclosures, right? So you know less about it. I'm literally doing stuff. Stuff where you're going to pay higher fees on, right? So that means all of these private equity firms who are using your retirement to gamble, they're going to be making sweet bank on that. I mean, they're just licking their chops on this stuff. I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, it's obviously this is not good. The other thing too, when I'm thinking about this out loud, is another way is they're probably thinking, okay, we got to figure out a way to keep the markets propped up. We got to figure out a way to bail out again our failed commercial investments. What about people's retirement? I just don't think this is going to end well. I mean, I don't know if you guys have a positive spin on this, please let me know. Because I'm playing devil's advocate just so you get a different point of view. I know that, and I always mention the Bush-Gore election because you guys don't know I'm 49. I lived through this thing, and I just remember George Bush at that time, he just kept saying we gotta privatize Social Security. That's what he'd say. And back then it was basically the dot-com bubble. And it just seemed like markets go up forever. So, from that perspective, if you don't understand that these things go in cycles, and if you just have a very short-sighted view, just like, oh, if markets go up forever, then yeah, throw all retirements, Social Security, throw everything in there, right? It'll be awesome. The problem is though, is that what happens when the bubble pops and a lot of people are going to get hurt. You know, we lived through the great financial crisis. If you're old enough to remember these things, you'll know it can get really, really ugly. And I think this is what we're leading up into. Now, to be fair, as the article states, the private equity is currently just lobbying to get this deal done. That means it's in the works, so it's not necessarily official yet. But this is sort of why you track this stuff to see how far they get, because I promise you, because this is what Trump and the Musks and all these people have been talking about, is that I'm telling you guys, that whole AI crypto, they've been talking about, like, you know, Bitcoin, Federal Reserve, for real. It's insane. And they got to get the money somewhere. They got to, like, okay, so where we can get that money? I didn't know they were looking at getting people's retirement funds in this way, like, you know, accessing your 401ks, et cetera. I just think this is insane. I keep saying that because it's just bad. I don't know. I mean, other than the arguments they'll make is they'll probably come up with some, you know, flashy PowerPoint and try to convince you how awesome all of these, you know, deals that they have, where they're not going to disclose all the details of the said deal, but they're going to have a cool pictures and stuff like that. And honestly, it feels a lot like the way that Elon Musk sells stuff. He promises you that you're going to go to Mars. He promises you that you're going to have humanoid robots. And he promised you that, you know, their cars are going to be, you know, really cool robo taxis. It's going to be that kind of stuff. And you're going to have a whole bunch of people that believe it, right? And I'm just telling you how it is, because people believe this nonsense. And then after 2 or 3 years, when nothing's delivered and the money's all gone, they'll try to sell you a bunch of other stuff. But the problem is, like, there comes a point where there's no more money. And honestly, if it does go this route, it's going to get really, really ugly out there. So the issue for then Trump and Musk is they just got to keep up the circus and the charade you know, as long as possible. And then right before they leave office, then suddenly you'll find out the truth, and then boom, it'll be over. So I think that's how this plays out. I feel sorry, and I know I make jokes about this stuff, but honestly, this is actually quite serious, and you don't want this. But that's what they're pushing for, the United States of Trump Casino. Please share your thoughts on this, and I'll catch you on the next video.